my channel. Okay, I'm gonna let it load for just like 2 seconds. Oh my gosh, my earring was open that whole time. I don't even know how long that's been open for, but thank goodness it's still in my ear. These hoops are just some like basic gold ones. I literally couldn't even tell you where I got these. I'm assuming that you'd be able to buy like cheap ones like this at Lavisa. I'm assuming they're stainless steel because they haven't tarnished and I like sleep with them in. But they're just little gold hoops that like close on a hinge like that. That's wild that they've been, well, this one has been in my ear opened. I just woke up, so it might have like opened the hinge or unclipped in my sleep. Maybe it got caught on something. I have no recollection. Anyway, today, I'm going to do a little get ready with me because I just woke up and I am going to see some of my colleagues tonight before I go to work, which sounds counterintuitive, but pretty much we're having like a work drinks tonight. But I'm also working the night shift. And so tonight I want to wear makeup because I want to go out to the work drinks, but I'm not going to like have drinks or anything because I'm working afterwards. So I just want something that's be comfortable the whole night while still helping me feel a little like dressed up because I haven't gone out in ages, you guys. And it's also why I haven't been chatting here on this channel. I need to get into it, so I need to get started. Okay, I'm going to be trying out this new foundation. This is the shade 110 from House Labs, which is Lady Gaga's brand. I just have this little sample pot here from Sephora. I haven't tried it yet. I'm quite excited to. The lady in the store said that she likes to use it with a flat brush, so I'm just going to look for a flat brush to use with that. I feel like I used to have heaps more flat brushes, but then they're all like dirty right now. Anyway, I might use a fluffy brush like a goose. Pretty much, the lady in the store recommended a flat brush, and that's why I'm like, I need a flat brush. Here, I have so many flat brushes. I don't know why I second guess myself. I really love my brush collection. I just feel like I have so many brushes and I enjoy having so many brushes. Anyway, yeah, I just want something that's comfortable to wear all night because I'm working the night shift. But I don't want to feel like ugly or anything at my work drinks. Not that I'd feel ugly in like my bare naked face. Like, I'm actually very happy with my bare face right now, especially with the like skincare that I've been doing recently. I really feel like my skin's doing quite well for what my skin texture's been like previously compared to right now. But I just don't want to be uncomfortable all night if like I'm wearing a heavy beat. Like, I'm not going to do lashes like a full thing just because that'd be kind of uncomfortable on the night shift because, you know, I will be at work till like 7 to 8 a.m. depending on different things. So I don't want to be uncomfortable. But yeah, I haven't been going out very much recently. You might go, oh no, that's so sad. It's not that sad because I've been trying to save money a little bit. I've tried to be like a little bit more intentional with my time, making sure that I'm spending it at work or on studying. I can't remember if I've said on this platform, but I am back at uni again. I'm doing my master's. I don't know if I should even say what my master's is in. I don't know. It's not like really a secret, but I don't say everything that's related to my career here on YouTube just because it's like, I don't know, a bit of privacy vibes. But like, it's a master's that's related to the kind of work that I do, and it's quite an interesting course, honestly. I wish that I had more time to dedicate to it because it's actually like quite interesting topics and I like what I'm learning about. But it's been a bit of a challenge to like balance it with uni. This is what the House Labs foundation looks like. It's pretty nice, honestly. It's quite thin on the skin. My skin was a bit like juicy to begin with because I put on some moisturizer this morning when I went to bed, and so it has a bit of like a glow. That's why I didn't put on any primer as well. But yeah, the foundation's quite thin in texture. It doesn't look thick on the skin. It's not the fullest coverage ever, I will say that. But so far so good. I'm going to pop on some concealer. This one is just from Rimmel London. This is the Multitasker. Also, I haven't showed you my new nails. They're Smiskies. And then these ones are like matcha kind of vibes, but they're like cat's eye matcha. And then these ones are Miffies, but brown Miffies because I love tan Miffies. My cuticles are dry, I know. It makes me feel like I'm on holidays. And then these ones are fawns, which are so pretty, like fawn print, you know what I'm trying to say, like deer. Just gonna do a dab under each eye. Honestly, this concealer is like on its last legs. I can imagine it getting used up kind of soon. Famous last words. I feel like I think that of a concealer and then it lasts for like years more. Anyway, just gonna use the same brush. This brush is from Mermaid Salon, I believe. Yeah, it is, which is, I think, an Australian company, and they just do the most iconic mermaid brushes that started the whole mermaid brush trend back in, like, I don't know, like maybe 2016, 2017. This concealer is quite bright for me, I know, but I think it's gonna make me look snatched. I just love a bit of a brightening moment. There we go. I feel like I'm so like now, which is kind of what I want. Look, with that House Labs foundation, I don't think it's as like bulletproof as some of my other foundations. Like, I don't know if it's like more of an everyday foundation at the moment. It could be, but I still prefer something like the L'Oreal Infallible for like a full coverage beat, just because you can still see some like skin color texture shining through. I don't think it's like the full beat that I'm looking for. Like, I think it's going to be comfortable for tonight, just because I'm going to be wearing this makeup all night. It'd probably be less comfortable if you were wearing like a full, thick, heavy, full coverage, but I don't think it's going to like beat out the L'Oreal Infallible or Tia Tia as like my go-to going out nighttime foundation. I don't want to do too much setting powder, just because I don't want to feel dry through the night, so I might stick to cream products. I didn't really have a like clear plan of where I'm going with this, but yeah, I think it's going to be cream products is the vibe. So we get, where's my, this is the Chanel bronzer. This is the old variant of the formula. This is the Soleil Tan de Chanel. And this is the original formula. So I believe they've reformulated it to be like a little bit more coconut infused, I believe, and it has a different scent. This has like a classic makeup kind of scent. It's not offensive or anything. It's just like, it smells like makeup. I'm using this brush from MCO Beauty. It's supposed to be a powder brush, but I'm going to use it for this bronzer just because it's big and loose and fluffy. I have not seen much sun at all recently. As you can probably tell, my skin tone is probably as light as it gets. So I'm just going to use this pretty liberally all over the neck and face, bring some warmth back, the usual. And I'm not going to be too like fussy with the placement of this, which is also why I chose like this rounded, large, fluffy brush, because I'd like to like kind of have a more diffused look compared to a more specifically placed, like chiseled look. I am still going on the general like upper cheek more than the lower cheek, just because I think that it's more flattering for the face. And I'm just kind of sweep this along the entire forehead, but keeping it focused most prominently at the hairline. Also, I'm breaking out there. Annoying, but that's life. Hopefully my hair hides it. Just a little more there. Okay, I'm pretty happy with the way that's looking. So yeah, sorry that I haven't been coming on this platform and yapping to you guys very much recently. It's not that I don't like you anymore. I'm still definitely like into posting on YouTube, and I do intend on coming back with more videos in the future, but yeah, just other life commitments at the moment with work and study have meant that those have kind of taken the front seat and YouTube's kind of taken the back seat, which is a shame because I really enjoy doing YouTube and like coming on here and making videos and chatting and stuff, but know that this is not the only thing in my life that's taken the backseat recently. So as like, you know, socializing or like other hobbies, I guess, that was a lot. This is so pigmented. This is the Rare Beauty blush in the shade Joy. This thing is so pigmented, and I just put a huge blob on my cheek. Let me find a blush brush. This one is from NARS. I think it's called the Eater brush. I could be wrong. It's just a kabuki brush. I don't know if that was the right amount of blush, but I'm going to try and blend it all away so that it doesn't look too accidental. I always like to bring a bit of blush onto my forehead and across the nose as well. I don't know. Probably gives me a bit of a sunburnt look, but I kind of like that. I feel like it looks like you're glowy and healthy and brings that peachy pinkiness back to the face. The shade of blush that this one is like literally my favorite type of blush shade. I love a peachy pinky kind of NARS orgasm adjacent blush. It's just my preference. I feel like I've had the Rare Beauty blush forever. It lasts forever. And I have no regrets about that. I just think it's a really, really good blush. I know I look kind of intense right now. Let me just clean it up a little bit. Where is the brush that I used earlier? Oh. As you can probably imagine, the desk in front of me is like an absolute mess. I just want to clean up a little bit that's come down a little too far there. But other than that, I'm not going to do a huge amount of cleanup. Oh, cleaned up a bit too high up there. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Cute. Oh my god, it looks like I've been in the sun now, which I totally haven't. I've been on the night shift for yonks. I just feel like this winter has been one big long night shift, which is my, like, you know, request. I did request my boss to put me on extra night shifts. But I really do feel like it's been a never-ending night shift. Did you know recently, I'm not going to make a whole thing about this, but I'm going to use it today because of this. Rare Beauty's shade Fembot got like an expansion to the line. So I think that it's one of their most popular shades. And so instead of just having it as, what are these called? Like liquid eyeshadows. Oh, I don't know. I thought she'd have like a name for it, like liquid eyeshadow drops or something. I don't know. I thought there'd be a different way of her saying it. Yeah, she expanded the range, so it's not just Fembot, this kind of duochromy shade as a liquid eyeshadow, but they now have it as like a powder eyeshadow, like a single shadow, as like a highlighter. All these different like products have been brought out in this shade that I love so much, and it's kind of tempting me to make a Rare Beauty order. I've just got this like flat brush. This is brush number 5 from Hourglass. I'm just gonna like dust this over the lid for like a loose shimmery duochromy vibe. Anyway, yeah, I'm pleased that there's going to be more duochrome fans out there that like me that love this shade. I wasn't expecting this to be Rare Beauty's like popular shade, the way that, like, I don't know, I think that Fembot is the Rare Beauty equivalent. Not rare, oh my gosh, I think that Fembot is the Rem Beauty equivalent of like Charlotte Tilbury's Pillow Talk, or like the NARS Orgasm, or the Benefit Hoola. And I just wasn't expecting that because it's kind of like a more fun shade. But I love it. I think it's really pretty. And it's a little bit more feminine than the classic like MAC Blue Brown pigment that I go for. There's something about it that's a little bit more ethereal rather than like sexy. I hope that makes sense. And I like the reflex that it has going. I think it's just really pretty. Let's go in for a bit of eyeshadow, shall we? It's going to be quite a light look because I chose that eyeshadow and I wanted to. No regrets though. I really like the way that it's looking. Yeah, let's do a bit of highlighter. Should I do some liquid, or, you know what, I'm not sure as a highlighter. I'm not sure about my thoughts. I'm kind of going on a tangent here, but I'm not sure about my thoughts on the Rem Beauty Wicked Galinda Glow Drops. They've also re-released these in like a more like standardized packaging, because this was from the actual Wicked release, and now they've released this product as a standard packaging release, which doesn't look as pretty in my opinion, but also still looks gorgeous in its own unique way. I do think that the Rem Beauty packaging is generally really beautiful. But yeah, I don't know how I feel about that as a highlighter laid on top of like the face. I just feel like it doesn't really add that much, and that I prefer other liquid highlighters out there, but it's still pretty. Something that I will use, I think I'll just use a powder highlighter. I know that's probably not as intense as like a liquid could have been, but whatever. I've been using this one recently. It's from Jouer. Jouer, I feel like, is a brand that, well, I feel like a lot of influencers recently, like Kelly Gooch also mentioned this. It's a brand that kind of became a bit unpopular and kind of dropped off. Not unpopular, but like, this is the shade Skinny Dip, by the way. You can see how much mess is on my table. There's a little Sonny's Angel there. Sonny's Angel. Anyway, I feel like I used to see Jouer being used by so many different people, and now it's just not as popular. Somehow they haven't met the demand of, like, I don't know, modern makeup trends in some way. I still see them though at Mecca. I purchased this product from Mecca. So people are still buying Jouer products because you can't sell at Mecca if no one's buying. Like, someone's buying them. But they're just not hyped the way that they could have been on social media, I feel. Like, people talk about, like, is it Refi? And like other more like clean girl aesthetic brands. I feel like Skinny Dip could have fit in, not Skinny Dip. I feel like Jouer could have fit into that aesthetic, but for some reason they haven't been able to reach popularity that way that like other more like no makeup brands have. Not saying it's a totally no makeup brand, but you know, the styling of the packaging and the kind of shades of the products they produce, it's a little bit more demure compared to other brands. And I just feel like it's interesting that they haven't become popular in like the demure tones space the way that other brands have. Also, I am still loving Real Techniques brushes. I have an undying love for Real Techniques brushes. I just think they're so good. I recently saw, is it Alabama Barker? Courtney's stepdaughter. I'm trying to look for like a fluffy face brush, but I guess I'll use this one. I recently saw that she uses Real Techniques brushes, which kind of surprised me because they're rich and famous. Like, they would have the fanciest brushes. But no, she uses Real Techniques, and I was like, that's so real of her. I'm just using a bit of setting powder just under the eyes here, just because I felt like I was a little too dewy, a bit too glowy there. There we go. By the way, if you're wondering what powder that was so light and easy to use, this is Nude by Nature's Mineral Finishing Veil in the translucent loose finishing powder. 01 Natural. I love this. I've had this for ages. It works so well. I don't have that much left, to be honest. We're kind of getting towards the end, but it's such a good powder. I just love it. It's a really good one. Probably one of my favorites from the drugstore. Anyway, what am I going to do next? I think it's going to be eyeliner. Maybe this is a bit boring to you guys because I kind of like lock in and focus a bit when I do eyeliner. But I'm using the, I think this is, yeah, this is the Integrate Liquid Liner. It's one that I bought while I was in Japan one time. I start off by doing the flick at the end. Now, the reason I do this is because if they're not totally even, or if I'm unhappy with them, then I can adjust the way that the rest of the wing goes to even them out. I'm pretty happy with these though. I don't start from the outside generally. I start from the inside and flick out, but sometimes I start from the outside and flick in on that first stroke. However, on the second stroke, when I create the top part of the wing, I do start from the outside usually. And I line it up with my eye. The reason I go from out to in is that way if I flick out, I don't create a double winged effect by missing my like pre-made wing. I hope that makes sense. If there's a bit of an awkward gap there, like that kind of meets at an angle that I don't like, I just smooth that out. I'm gonna smooth that out now. That's smoothed out in a way that I feel like is satisfactory to me. Now I either like drag this along the lash line, and then for the inside part, I'd take the brush the other way. I love using a brush tip liner. I just think it's more precise, and I'm more used to the way the ink flows. Once I filled in the shape, now I color in the outline that I've made. So I take this little triangle that I've made across my eye and color it in all the way as closely as I can to the lash line. Trying not to make any gaps because I think that gaps really ruin the look. I really get in the lash line here, getting under and in between all the lashes. I think that a gap, it's not it for me. And I really do think that I'm my best self when I have a winged liner on. I just think it looks better on my eye shape, and I think my eyes are probably like the place on my face where I like to draw the most attention to. Maybe I have insecurities about my teeth being wonky, because they are. The front ones are especially. So maybe that's why I draw attention to my eyes the most. I think that's why. I also think because my eyes are probably like proportionally the smaller part of my face. It's like more strategic for me to bring attention to them and like try and enlarge the way they look. Not that I'm trying to like go for a really big eye, but you know what I mean? Like a lot of color there rather than like a lot of color on my already big nose and mouth area. Does that make sense? Okay, that's pretty decent. You can see it really does change the way that my eye looks, in my opinion. I just think I'm my hottest self with a wing liner on. So now we're going to replicate the look on the other side, dragging that in. And then creating the lash line. If I was to go in with the brush, again, pretend this is my eye. If I was to go in like this, it would be much more difficult to create a smooth line because I'd be creating dots and dragging it. And it's like, if I went up and down, it would go up and down. Whereas if I drag the liner this way across the eye, it's a flat line that's getting pulled across the eye. So it's much easier to create a smoother line. So I'll go that way instead. I dare say this eyeliner is kind of getting used up. Yeah, it kind of is. Let me just like, I guess I'll use this Cocoa Bella bottle. Sometimes I feel like powder on the actual brush tip of the liner can clog up the bristles. Because this feels more inky now. I hope that was a decent tutorial if anyone was interested in how I do my eyeliner. I should really make it like a, not Instagram reel, like a YouTube short. Like a quick eyeliner tutorial. One thing I don't like about YouTube shorts though, is if I was to make a schmick schmock video, that can be like a range of different lengths. Whereas a YouTube short can only be, oops, I made a little, just gonna smooth that out. A YouTube short can only be up to 1 minute in length. And so I just feel like that's a little bit limiting. I mean, obviously it's limiting, there's a time limit, but yeah, it's not my favorite that there's a limit. I wish I could post like vertical videos on YouTube and for them to be considered shorts, but not be as short. I don't know. I guess I could post longer upright videos. Now, is my eyeliner perfect? No. Is anyone's face totally symmetrical? No. So I don't care. It's probably not perfect, but well, I know it's not perfect, I can tell, but that's as good as I'm gonna do today, and I'm not sad about it. I'm not going to be like, oh no, I messed up my eyeliner. This is good enough for me. Okay, give me a second. I want to have a drink. Oh no, I've been playing Smurfs recently on my iPad. This is so off topic. And ooh, thank goodness, this is my Smurfs. I love playing Smurfs. Smurfs Village, this is not sponsored. This is just like a lifelong passion of playing Smurfs. So when I was a kid, I used to play Smurfs on my iPhone 4S, which was my first my first like smartphone really. There we go. I'm just planting some raspberries, so we'll come back in 5 minutes. Anyway, and the first game that I ever really, really loved and locked into was Smurfs. Like, yeah, I played Doodle Jump, Jetpack Joyride, Cut the Rope, all the classics. There was this water one about like an alligator. I don't totally remember what it was called, but that was fun as well. But my favorite is it has always been Smurfs. Anyway, after a period of time, that phone died. I stopped playing Smurfs. I don't know, had other priorities going on. Recently, I realized I should download Smurfs on the iPad. It is so much more fun on the iPad. Not that I've downloaded it on my phone recently to compare, but I've really been enjoying it on my iPad recently just because the full screen means that like in the Papa's Bakery game, I can really like get in there and like use my Apple Pencil and be like really getting all all the cooking items, all the baking goods. When I'm doing the Papa Smurfs, like mixing potions, I'm like really getting in there and giving a good scrub, and it's so much more like involved on the iPad. I'm really in the game, so I'm a big fan of Smurfs on the iPad recently. Let's get on to brows because I'm kind of going off topic. So I've been using the Goof Proof brow pencil for ages, honestly, and there's still more left in here. I think I took a bit of a hiatus when I was blonde because I didn't like using darker brow products as much when I was blonde, but I'm back onto using some of my more brunette shades now that I'm having orange hair, which is kind of like, I know it looks kind of gray in areas. It's because I need to refresh it. I use this like colored conditioner that like stains and like recolors your hair when you condition it, and I need to do that again because it's been maybe 2 weeks since I last did it, and so I'm looking a bit faded compared to how I would like to look. As you know, I prefer a vibrant color, so yeah, just taking a little bit of this through the brows. Kind of has like a angled tip, and it is an interesting shape. It's not quite a diamond, but like it's kind of an irregular shaped tip, maybe like an angled teardrop, and I do find it works quite well for the brows. Recently for my brows, I've also been a fan of I want to take that a bit higher. I've also been a bit of a fan of a more straight brow. I feel like that's been cute recently. And I also like, sorry, I just want to reblend that area. I feel like I put some eyeliner there. I also feel like I like the look of a straight and a thin eyebrow. I really love the way thin brows look at the moment. So I kind of thinned out my brow as like thin as I'm willing to go. I just like the way it looks. I think it's chic. Obviously you don't have to thin your eyebrows because I said I like my brows thin, but yeah, I've just been looking back at pictures of when I had thicker brows, even like videos here on YouTube where I have thicker brows. And I'm like, oh, that's a really intense brow, Emily. Why did I do that? But also, you know, maybe I'll look back at these videos and go, why did I make them so thin? Brow blindness, who knows? Maybe back in the day I felt my brows were on fleek, you know? So it was a different era. Fleek was important. Like, it's just, yeah, it's just different. Okay, I'm pretty happy with the way that looks. I'm going to do a little bit of mascara. I've been using this one from Bare Minerals. This is the Lashtopia. And I'm going to use a lash curler because I have some really good lash curlers and I feel like they just sit there all the time and I barely ever use them. So I'm going to use them today. This one is from Shiseido. And I bought it from Japan. I bought it in Don Quixote. And it's really good. It was so much more affordable there compared to in Australia. I was originally thinking about buying the Shiseido lash curler in Mecca here, and it's like $40 or something ridiculous. Like, it's so expensive. And then when I was in Japan, I was just in Donkey, and I was like, oh my gosh, the Shiseido lash curler is here. I checked out the price, and it was like, I don't know, $8. That's wild. That's a huge difference. So yeah, if you're ever in Japan, get the lash curlers there. They're so much more affordable. And you know what I also got while I was in Japan? The mini lash curler. It's so cute. I'm obsessed with it. Let me show you. It's just like the regular lash curler, like same plot. However, this lash curler is so cute because it's a mini. See? And it's like for getting in there. Like if you have like lashes at the front or back that this misses and you can see them. I can't see them on at the moment. I think they're fine. I think it all was caught in this big one. But if you miss them, this little one, oh my, that's it guys. Sorry. My raspberries are ready. Yeah, I've been enjoying Smurfs. My Smurfs village, I was a bit embarrassed to show you, to be honest, because it's really messy right now. Like, none of these houses are organized. I just, like, put them randomly. I haven't, like, sat down and, like, organized my village to make it cute. And, like, I haven't bought pathways so that they have, like, a logical village layout. But I've been enjoying just, like, harvesting things and, like, playing the mini games regardless. I haven't bought that many, like, specialized mushroom houses, except for Smurfette's, of course. Is hiding back there. That's like my favorite. Smurfette is my favorite. I used to be obsessed with her when I was a kid. And then I also bought the farmer one. He's the farmer. So yeah, Even the sounds of Smurfs is so nostalgic to me. Like the sounds of like the Smurf cicadas, I guess. It just sounds really like, yeah, familiar. Something I will say about Smurfs though is it's expanded so much as a game. There are so many more like bells and whistles to it now that didn't exist back when I used to play Smurfs back in the day. Yeah, there's just like a lot going on in the app. And it's a little bit overwhelming, I'm not gonna lie, because I don't know all these new recent bits. Like now you can go to Smurfs Mountain or something. Like there's a mountain, there's like space, there's Smurfs Beach. I think that those things may have existed when I was younger. Maybe I didn't really understand, or I didn't level up in that way because I was a kid and didn't figure it out. But I swear we didn't have like Smurfs having a mountain or like a volcano or something like that. There's so many more paths as well. Anyway, that slash is done. I'm very pleased with the way this is coming out. This is exactly how I would have liked it to. I'm going to do a bit of lip liner now. So the lip liners that I've been using recently is mostly the Charlotte Tilbury one, and then also the Charlotte Tilbury dupe from MCO, which I know has been recently quite controversial because people are saying like, oh, is it too close of a dupe? I happened to pull out the Charlotte Tilbury before I found the dupe today, so we're going with Charlotte Tilbury. But I like MCO. It's literally just a lip liner. Like, tell me why this lip liner needs to cost $30-something when the MCO one is literally the same thing, literally the same shade. I'm going to use the Charlotte Tilbury lip liner with the MCO lipstick. And like, when I tell you these are the same shade, these are the same exact shade. Actually, you know what? I'll bring out my, because I can see my Charlotte Tilbury lipstick there. I'm going to compare the meerkats. I always use the MCO one since I bought it, and I've never touched my Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk once, just because, like, why would I use Pillow Talk when I have the same thing? Look at this. Like, I've used so much of it. When it was brand new, it was as large as the Charlotte Tilbury one. Like, I have used this lipstick. It's probably my most worn lipstick, I want to say, of all time, just because, like, I've never gone through like an entire lipstick, and I will eventually go through this. But you can see these shades are literally identical. There is no difference between these shades. It might look a little bit different on camera depending on like the way I'm holding them or something. But in real life, I want to assure you, they are literally the same. They have a slightly different scent, I will say. Actually, do they? Yes, this one has a slightly more vanilla-y scent. Like, I feel like Charlotte Tilbury lipsticks remind me a little bit of the MAC scent. Like the MAC lipstick smell, if you know what that smells like. Whereas the MCO one has a slightly different lipstick smell, but they're both very pleasant. I'm quite fussy with the scent of products. Like, if something smells too fruity or bad to me, I won't like it. Neither of those products smell bad. And you saw how similar those two shades were. That is literally also the same amount of difference between the lip liners between MCO and Charlotte Tilbury. And I think that if I was to choose, if someone was to ask me, which one should I get? I would say get the MCO, because you don't feel as afraid to lose it. One time I lost one of my Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk lip pencils, and to replace it, it's like $30-something. Whereas to replace the MCO lip pencil, it's a couple of bucks, like less than $20, definitely. And it's like easily accessible at so many places. Like Charlotte Tilbury, you got to go to Mecca, or you got to like shop online or go on the Charlotte Tilbury website. Whereas MCO, you can just buy it like Woolies. It's so easy. Big W probably has them. Chemist Warehouse. And yeah, I overline. I try and curve the sides of my lip recently. I just like the way that looks. And on the other side. Yeah. I'm happy with the way that looks. And then I'm just going to fill in my lip with the MCO lipstick. It's just like a very easy, comfortable formula. And I'm not scared of losing it, which is something I appreciate, especially on a night out. Like, I don't want to be like, oh, there's my really expensive lipstick. And like, yeah, I do take out my nicer lipsticks quite often, but there's something like freeing about like not worrying if this got lost or stolen, or I don't know, like if I left it on the sink at the club bathroom, it's going to be okay because it's just MCO. Like, I can just replace it. It's a lot more freeing to lose this than to lose this. If I lose the Charlotte Tilbury one, I'd be like, oh, that one cost me like $30-something. It's kind of expensive. It is expensive. But yeah, I know that there's a bit of controversy about like how similar these products are. This product is so good. I don't think that these are just packaging dupes. This formula is very similar in formula to like the Charlotte Tilbury lipstick formula. Yes, I haven't used my actual specific Pillow Talk shade, but I have used other shades from Charlotte Tilbury, and the formula itself, it's creamy, it's smooth. This is a similar formula, and definitely the shade is a match. I think that the asset about Charlotte Tilbury's lipsticks is the shades are really, really gorgeous, and I think that MCO has perfectly replicated the shades, and you still have that literally like really luxurious looking packaging. This is not an ad, obviously. It's never an ad with me. Who's paying me? I'm paying me. But yeah, I just think that you still can have that luxurious feel without compromising. You literally get formula and packaging and like price. I think the MCO is the winner in my opinion. Okay, let me harvest my raspberries, and then I'll do some setting spray, and oh, I kind of want to do some nose contour as well. Let's harvest these raspberries together. I was thinking recently, should I be making more YouTube videos like this where I use my iPad as like a secondary screen to show you guys things that I'm referring to? Because often I don't like to do editing where I am like superimposing a picture over the video or like having to cut things in like an editing app. I just don't like editing, and it would be so much easier if I just used my iPad and I could just like live stream the way that I usually do, like I'm doing right now, and then just show you things on my iPad. By the way, here are my iPad stickers. I stickered my iPad myself. The actual case itself is just a magnetic like trifold case, and I got this from AliExpress. My lock screen is Pinterest. Oh my god, it's becoming a what's on my iPad video. It won't be. Apple Pencil from Officeworks. It's just like the Apple Pencil that goes with the Gen 5 iPad Air, and then the iPad Air in pink with the AliExpress case with stickers from my boyfriend that he got for me in Malaysia. That's where all the Sanrio ones are from, like all the ones with mocha. That's where those are from. They're a little bit scratched because when I took them into when I took my iPad with me to Singapore, I shoved it in like my Dior bandolier kind of Boston bag, and it got a bit scratched by like the zip on my bag because it stuck out the top of the bag. Anyway, that's such a side tangent. The what was I going to talk about? Yeah, the other stickers, like the Barbie ones, those are from Miniso, and then these ones that are the Sweet Bunny Emily ones, I got those from Chinatown in the Sydney city, from a shop called Morning Glory, which used to be super duper popular when I was a kid. Like in high school, we would go to shop at Morning Glory. I feel like people don't really go there anymore. Tell me if I'm wrong. I feel like I kind of overlined my lower lip, but maybe it's just because I haven't worn like a lip product in a while that I'm like taken aback by the way that I've done it. Maybe I'm not used to seeing myself in a big lot of lip liner. Outfit is my hoodie. It's a Barbie hoodie. I love my hoodie. I've been wearing it non-stop. It's been a freezing cold winter here in Sydney. So if you know anything about the weather in Sydney, you know that the Sydneyans, the Sydney-siders, they live in their hoodies in the winter. Trying to think if there's anything else I kind of want to tell you guys before I get into nose contour. I guess not. Let's nose contour. Where's my nose contour brush? Oh, here it is. This is my favorite nose contour brush. It's the Morphe E62. I want to say that this brush is the one that came out in also the James Charles like Morphe collaboration brush set, but I didn't want to support James Charles because he's a pedophile. And so I didn't buy that brush set, but I do think that like it's a good shape for a nose contour brush, and he did make a good choice for the brush set in choosing this as a nose contour brush. So I went and searched it up, and luckily this brush was available separate to the James Charles set. And additionally, I don't like using animal fur brushes, and I think that some of the brushes in that set may have used animal fur. Don't quote me on that. I don't really remember. I wasn't going to buy the set anyway because it made a while. So yeah, luckily this particular brush from that set is not animal fur, which made me very happy because I don't want to buy animal fur brushes, so I can use it guilt-free without supporting or animal cruelty. Yippee! Oh my gosh, this nose contour that I'm using, I should show you. It's my NYX blush in the shade Taupe. It's a really good cool toned, like, contoury shade, and I do love it for nose contour, but oh my goodness, it is smashed up and it's like using the most messiest little container of powder. I really should like set it again, but I've reset it a couple of times, and every time I reset it, it just smashes again. So I feel like it's a lost cause. That's about it for nose contour. Let's do a little bit of highlight on the nose as well, because I'm into that. I'm a fan. I'm going to use this Hourglass brush. It's the brush number 11, if it's going to focus. I'm just going to grab a little bit of this and drag this on the center of the nose. Going to do some inner corner as well. I don't really know what I'm going to wear tonight. I'm kind of like, I don't know, I feel like having so many different colored hairdos, like since I've changed my hair color so many times, it kind of like disrupts my fashion in a way that like forces me to be creative in new ways, because I have to figure out what outfits work for new hair colors and stuff. And it really does make a big difference, especially with unnatural hair colors. Like when I had pink hair, a lot of outfits would be like, because wearing pink hair, it's like wearing a hat. You have to pair the outfit with your pink hair. And like orange hair, it's not as difficult because it's more of a natural hair color. Like, I'm not saying this looks natural, but it's not an unnatural hair color. Like, it's not as wild as like when I had green hair. But still, it does like change your perspective on fashion. Like, kind of has not thrown me off, but like, yeah, it's just changed the way that I see clothes and stuff. So just adjusting this tip of this brow here. I don't know if I'm totally satisfied with it, but whatever. Anyway, I think that's it for my face. I'm going to do a bit of highlight. I mean, not highlight. I guess I will do a bit of highlight. I'm going to do a bit of setting spray. Setting spray I want to use is the Morphe Luminous Setting Spray. I actually like this setting spray. I also have the Morphe matte setting spray, and this one's really nice as well. But the reason I'm going for the luminous one, it's not luminous to the point that it leaves your face like wet and like glossy and uncomfortable and too goopy. It does definitely set down the face. It has a light scent that reminds me of cucumber. Like it's like a fresh scent. And I love the kind of mistness where it's like tss, tss, rather than like tss, tss. It's just like a misting kind of effect rather than like a spraying effect, and it's a lot more pleasant. Anyway, that is my face done. I'm going to use a little bit of my Miniso Barbie fan. Sometimes I use a like handheld fan as well, but this was just right in front of me. But yeah, this is my completed face. It's been a while since I've come on here, had a chat with you guys and did some makeup, so I hope you enjoyed this video. I definitely enjoyed having a chat with you guys. It's been a while, so thanks for chatting with me. Well, thanks for hanging out and like watching my video. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me, even though I am irregularly on here these days, more so than before at least. It's not like I've ever been that regular, let's be real. But yeah, that's the face. I feel like as soon as I do liner, I'm myself again. I feel like this liner is higher than this one, but we're not even, I'm not going to fix it. It's a fluff on my lip. Okay, I'm going to go harvest my Smurfs raspberries for them and get on my way. I will probably wear green tonight because I feel like green goes well with red hair or like orange hair. If you enjoyed this video, you can give it a big thumbs up. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. You can subscribe if you'd like to see more content from me. You can follow me on every single platform on most social medias. My @ is @EmilyTitch20. And you can also subscribe here as a paid membership. I'll talk about this really briefly, but if you want to see even more from me, I also upload here on my paid version of the platform. I'll always be uploading normal videos on here for free, but if you'd like to see even more content from me, you can subscribe down below, hit the join button, and there are different tier membership levels depending on how much you'd like to support me. You can subscribe to that tier level and yeah, see extra content from me if you're interested. If you're not, totally understand. And I'll catch you next time. As per usual, I'm always normal here, free anyway. But yeah, thanks for watching. Love you lots. Bye. I can't even end the stream. Stop streaming.